Hello everybody, Xoid64 here today with a brand new video. In this video I'll be talking about the details regarding the expansion pass for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. As of recording, we are less than 2 weeks, actually as of recording now we're less than 10 days until the game launches. And I know I haven't been on the train of uploading videos regarding Xenoblade 3 up until now, so if you're worried about my knowledge of the series, then I guess worry not, as I've played every game in the series, besides X. I'm no lore scholar, but I'm just here to speculate alongside all of you, because we're just thirsting for content right now. I'll be overviewing every wave of DLC here, so if you want to skip to the main predictions of the new story scenario, aka Wave 4, then skip to the time on screen now. As always, spoilers for Xenoblade 1, 2, Torna, and maybe Future Connected, I don't know. Going into the DLC, we know the expansion pass will contain 4 waves of updates that are releasing throughout 2022 to 2024. The DLC can be purchased right now on either Nintendo's website or through the eShop for $39.99 Canadian or $29.99 for my American peeps, which is actually the same price as Xenoblade 2's expansion pass as well. We know the release date for Wave 1 and the release windows for Waves 2 to 4. Wave 1 is releasing on launch day, being July 29th, 2022. Wave 2 has a release window for December 31st, 2022. Wave 3 has a release window of April 30th, 2023, meaning we can expect it in either the first quarter or beginning of the second quarter. And finally, Wave 4 has a release window of December 31st, 2023. This is a bit of an exception though, where it's the new story scenario, but we can expect it towards winter 2023. It's super sick that we're getting an entire year's worth of additional content on top of the already overbearing 60 plus hour game. And I'm speculating 60 plus hours for reference because 1 was like 68 and 2 was, I'd say, roughly 64 hours. Wave 1 is labeled as the Adventure Support Pack. As I just mentioned previously, it releases on launch day, similar to how Xenoblade 2 handled its first wave of DLC. And I think this is a good move by the devs, as it offers the player a bit of extra day 1 bonuses that'll give him a good boost in the early stages of the game. The wave provides you with a handful of accessories that I'm assuming work the same way as 2's accessories, but we'll have to see. Either way, you're given 1 Iron Temple Guard, a Circlet of Wisdom, a Silver Belt, an Auto Balancer, a Glass Memory, and a No-Pawn Strap, which are all accessories like I said. Alongside these accessories, you're also given 30 silver and 10 gold no-pawn coins. I'm guessing the no-pawn coins act similar or the same to 1 and 2, but they're also used to bypass completing Collectopedia cards without the required items, bypass campfire cooks or gem crafting without materials, and even to level up classes, which is just phenomenal. I'm just grateful no-pawn coins never turned out to be microtransactions, because that would have been bullshit if so. Finally, Wave 1 offers multiple new color variants or alternate costumes, similarly to 1 and 2. From the Xenoblade wiki, it mentions we're getting 10 variants total, but for now we only know 6 of the Color 2 variants for the main party members. So I'll show off a brief showcase of them here. Moving on to Wave 2, labeled the New Hero and Intense Enemy Battles Pack. Wave 2's release window is scheduled for December 31st, 2022, and adds the Challenge Battle Mode and a brand new hero to the game. The Challenge Battle Mode is definitely the highlight of this wave, and is most likely going to play similarly to Xenoblade 1's Time Attack and Xenoblade 2's Challenge Mode, possibly rewarding you with no-pawn coins and exclusive armor sets or accessories. Alongside the new game mode, we're also getting more outfits for the characters, although we don't exactly know what they are yet. I'd imagine they'd be the same delivery as 2's outfits as well. Lastly, we're getting an additional hero, and we've gotten a teaser image silhouette of the hero already. A lot of people speculated it to be a form of Poppy, be it a new model revision similar to Poppy Buster, or just an entirely new model. Personally, I think it's just going to be a new hero with no connection to any previous character we know, not just Poppy. Xenoblade 2's expansion pass had the exact same teaser treatment where the DLC blades were silhouetted, so it's probably nothing major. Moving on to Wave 3, it currently does not have a title nor a teaser image, although we know its release window of April 30th, 2023. Wave 3 has the exact same contents as Wave 2 as well. Additional missions for Challenge Battle Mode, new character outfits, and a brand new hero will be available, so nothing major. Lastly, we have the most anticipated part of the expansion pass, Wave 4, aka the new original story scenario. This wave's release window is December 31st, 2023, meaning we've got to wait a year and a half to get it, but I'm not really complaining. The only thing of note in regards to this wave is the new original story, so it's going to be treated more like another Torn of the Golden Country, and we're getting an additional 40 hours or more on the already existing story of Xenoblade 3. People have already begun to speculate what the new story could be about, and how they're going to handle it. The main idea floating around at the moment is that it's going to be a prequel to the main game, similarly to Torna. The community is speculating that it'll take place during the moments of the two universes colliding, and we'll get to play as party members from both 1 and 2 and follow them as they traverse a fresh state of Ionios. So to toss that theory around, I personally love the idea of us getting to witness both of the parties from 1 and 2 interact with each other, as well as fight together. The way both games concluded left you wanting more, and Future Connected really didn't help that idea. So being able to play as slightly older versions of Shulk & Co. and Rex & Co. would be more than fantastic. I think the general premise of the story could be Shulk's party and Rex's party rebuilding their respective societies and communities on Ionios. The story could start with both universes colliding, however, Monolith wants to tackle that idea, and begin with the rebuilding of Colony 9 and other key places from Xenoblade 1, as we briefly saw with the ending of 1 and Future Connected with Alchemoth. Meanwhile, we witness multiple communities of people leaving the Titans, beginning a new life somewhere on the new land. I can picture Rex trying to coordinate and assist as many people as he possibly can, as obviously people will have questions about what's going on. At some point I can see either Shulk or Rex's party merging with each other's communities, which not only benefits the people of either worlds, but also begins the friendship of Shulk and Rex, canonically, at least. Gameplay should be limited to 6 party members, just as the base game of 3 will. But I think that if Monolith goes down this route, they'll limit it to 3 characters from each world, just to parallel the base game in a way. For the sake of this theory, I think we'll get Shulk, Rein, and Dunban from 1's cast, and Rex with Pyra and Mithra, Morag with Brigid, and Zeke with Pandoria from 2's cast. I think this lineup is fine, as it gives all of these characters more time to shine. If you're curious about the other characters I left out, I'll get to Melia and Nia later, as I think their roles will be much greater due to the events of 3. But as for Fiora, Charla, Ricky, Kino, Nene, Dromark, Tora, and Poppy, I feel that they're all going to get moments in the story too, but not as great as the other characters I listed, being the playable ones. So instead, to continue to parallel the base game, they can make these characters heroes. That way we can get the best of both worlds and still have them in our party in our own way. So quick editor's note. Just to clarify on this concept, all the characters I just listed will not actually be playable. They'll just be in the form of the 7th party member being a hero. This is the exact same system as 3, where you can select one hero to join your party, meaning that these characters can join your party to give additional buffs, damage, whatever the case may be, but not actually be playable. If you know what I mean, then you'll understand, but that's just to clarify in case there's any confusion. Alright, back to the video. In terms of actual gameplay, battles will take direct cues from base 3, where combat can be centered around 1's cooldown mechanics and 2's auto attack mechanics for the respective party members, making it much easier for the devs. Heroes can also act the same, and so can Master Arts from base game, meaning that the playable characters can learn Master Arts from a hero or by class switching. For example, imagine Dunban learning arts from Zeke, or Ricky learning arts from Tora. This concept gives perfect context as to why we see some characters in 3 have arts like Air Slash, Ground Beat, Air Fang, and Butterfly Blade, which all come from potential ancestors of these characters, seen in this DLC story. Side quests could also entail the group taking out a handful of enemies in a surrounding area to make way for future infrastructures and settlements for people, similar to Colony 6's questline from 1, if you can picture it that way. Or even make technological advancements for society with the brand new materials of the world, which could give more context into how technology has evolved from both worlds in the present time of 3, explaining the flame clocks and everything else. Going back to Melia and Nia for a minute, I'm not certain for this story if I can see them being playable, but I do think that for the two of them, as well as Tyrea and Dromark, will have a much larger premise in the overall story, as we need to know how both of their personalities shift that drastically that they became leaders of war. I'd like to see the two of them get to know each other, but also witness what drove them down a wrong path and eventually became the leaders of their respective nations, and discover how the tides shifted between them and the main cast, which led to the everlasting war on Ionios. Overall, I think it would just be really cool to see both of their dynamics bounce off of each other, and also to see how their personalities developed over the course of the years, which led them to the current moments of Xenoblade 3. Those are my general crackpot theories on what we can expect, but at the same time, some, if not all of these questions could actually just be answered in the base game. And this new story scenario could be completely different than what I just spewed out, but that's just the fun of speculating, I guess. I'd say we'll get these questions answered one way or another, and Monolith can take this DLC story in any possible direction, but we'll just have to wait and see to find out. If you guys have any theories of yours, or if you agree or disagree with what I've said, then feel free to comment your ideas down below as well. It's really not that long to wait until the game comes out. As I'm recording the outro now, we are in the single digits, so hopefully we'll get our answers soon. Either way, thank you for watching. I'll see if I upload more Xenoblade content in the future, as I kinda just wanted to test my audience and see how far this video goes before launch. But with that, this is Xord64, signing off.